Hey, Juliet, tell us a little bit about yourself there.
How are you?
Good.
I can tell you a little bit about myself. I am a physician, Dr. Breeze, and I run Next Level Urgent Care, which is a company that I started about 8 years ago here in Houston.
Wow, Next Level, and it's everywhere. I've seen your signs and your places.
We have 17 locations open, but we have 5 under development, so we're going to be at 22 by the end of this year. We're really excited about that.
Nice.
The coverage of Houston is our main goal. We want to be able to be everywhere that a person might need to find us in Houston.
Next Level Urgent Care, I'm sure everybody's seen that. So tell me a little bit about who comes to Next Level Urgent Care and why.
Well, so originally what I wanted to do was have people who would normally have been injured or ill outside of work hours or when their doctor wasn't available. We wanted to be a place where they could come and get very cost-effective care for their injury or illness, because what we had in Houston was a bunch of freestanding emergency rooms that were charging really outrageous rates. Exactly. So, you know, if you hurt yourself on a Saturday, that was like your only choice. So that was what we set out to do. So, but what has happened is that over time, we've kind of expanded into other kind of service lines. So one of the things that we do is take care of injured workers. A lot of employers will send their injured workers to us because we have a very strong orthopedic background and we have x-rays on site at every location. So injuries are kind of our specialty. But beyond
Is that kind
that,
of like a workers' comp thing?
workers'
right?
comp, and if you don't have workers' comp, we can take care of your injured employees also. So we do it all that way. But our relationships with employers that we were establishing because we were doing their work injuries led us to be asked to come and set up a clinic on site for an employer so that their employees could get taken care of for anything for no cost to the employee. And we started that in 2015. We did our first one with a large employer, and
So that's on site.
it's
on their location.
on their location, and we run the clinic and the
Hi everyone, I'm Dena Musfy with Greenwood King Properties and you're watching Real Estate with Dena. This show is to provide information to you relating to real estate, anything and everything related to real estate, whether it be commercial real estate or residential real estate. I'll have guests on this show that will provide you information on things that will help you purchase homes or things to help you prepare your home to sell, or just services you might need from people that can provide you things for your home or your property. So anything you might have questions about and you might want to ask or have someone on the show to explain to you, please reach out to me at dena@greenwoodking.com, and that way I can hopefully have that guest on the show for you so they can give you more information, or you can just ask me questions directly. I want to thank Now Media TV for having me on this, having this platform for me to give y'all all this information. And we'll be right back with our first guest in a few minutes. Buying, selling, or renting a property is an important step that will impact your life and the life of your loved ones. In fact, research shows that having an experienced realtor ensures a better pricing, selling, buying, or renting a property. Hi, my name is Dena Musfy with Greenwood King Properties. If you want to buy, sell, or rent a property, call me. I have the resources and strong know-how to navigate your transaction with ease. At the same time, when necessary, I can perform market evaluations and assessments, make recommendations for any staging or renovations needed to make your property shine, and anything else needed to list your property and sell it as fast as possible. Additionally, I'm a master certified negotiator and can provide several financing solutions. The goal is to sell your house fast and for the highest price possible, or find you your dream home and negotiate the best deal. Leave the selling, buying, or renting of your property to me. Take a strong step, reach out to me today so I can handle all your real estate needs. Hi everyone, we're back and I'm here with Nehemiah Rubin with Collaborative Services, and we're here to talk about your business and let people know. I know this is such a huge topic right now, generators and getting generators. Especially after all the flooding and all the stuff we've had for several years in the past, but I think the freeze really freaked people out, and because that was something so unexpected. I think none of us were prepared for not having water, not having electricity for days on end. And I'm sure now, I think people were thinking about generators before, and they started getting them after, the Memorial Day and Tax Day floods and Harvey and all that. But now it's even probably 30,000 times worse,
Oh, yeah.
or better for you, because that's a ton of business coming your direction. But tell me a little bit about yourself personally and kind of what got you into the business and things like that.
I got into the business when I was young. Right out of high school, I decided I wanted a trade that I could work anywhere in the world. And I thought about contracting work, and I was moving bricks, and I said, no, that's not for me. So I decided I wanted to be an electrician. I figured I could work anywhere in the world if I wanted to. If we wanted to live in another country, I'd be able to support myself and my family. I have a wife, 3 teenagers and a 3-year-old.
Oh, God bless you.
But yeah, we originally were doing electrical work, just mainly electrical service work. And then me and my business partner just looked at each other and said, hey man, let's start doing generators. And it's just been picking up ever since. But after this freeze, excuse me, I don't think anybody was expecting that, but there's people who are like, never again,
So how long have you been doing generators?
So we've been doing generators for 2 years now.
Oh, okay.
I've done them off and on in the past, just never at this scale. So we've learned a lot from doing generators. We're all certified. Everybody who works for us is licensed and certified to do it through Generac. Yeah, we love it.
I know, so there's different types of generators out there and stuff, but Generac seems to be the one that has a great reputation, and it's been around for a long time. And I guess what's the process that your employees have to go through to get licensed to do that, just so they know how qualified people are that actually are installing?
So all of our guys who work for us have to be licensed electricians, number one. Number two, they have to take an 8-hour class online, and then they have to go to a Generac class, which is typically in Dallas or in Sugar Land, and it's about a 2-day class. That's just for the air-cooled units. Then you have the liquid-cooled units, which is a little bit more extensive training. And you have to do multiple hours of class for the liquid-cooled, and then you have to go again and do the liquid-cooled training with Generac. And then you have the industrial generators, where you get into, and that's the bigger thing, bigger generators that are probably the size of cars. And there's extensive training through that. It's probably one of the hardest tests I've ever had to take.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so you had to study for a long time for that test, huh?
Yeah, most definitely. Most
Okay.
definitely.
Well, I think that's important. I know personally, as a real estate agent, I've called several people, for clients and stuff. And I think one of the reasons I had you on the show, or also have provided your services to some of my clients, is that everyone was certified and he gave me an answer right away. He didn't kind of beat around the bush. A lot of contractors you call, a lot of people you call, they'll beat around the bush. Like, oh, I have to come out and I have to see and the size and this and that. It's like, as soon as I called you, you told me there's this size, it's this price, it's this price. What do they want to do? Do they want to run their whole house? They just want to run their refrigerators. You can buy it this price or this price. Bam, done. It's not so complicated as to kind of what you have to do to come in and measure where you need to be. It's like, yes, you have to figure out where to put it, but you can tell me a price, right?
Exactly.
So people don't give me a price. So I love that honesty from you, that it was like right off the bat, it's either this or this, in a home. depending on what they want to do and what they want to spend. And he even told me one of the higher priced ones, you're like, some people do it just because they want all this stuff in their house, but it's a waste of money, honestly. They don't need all that.
Yeah.
So I appreciated that as well, that you weren't just trying to milk people for the money, aspect of it. You were being honest and true and wanting that. So that was awesome. What's the lead time on getting a generator?
So an air-cooled generator right now, if I got a phone call from somebody, if it's not in the city limits, I can have it installed in about a month. If it is in the city limits, it takes about 6 weeks because of the process we got to go through with whatever city to get the permitting taken care of.
Okay.
We have to do one-line drawings, load analysis. We have to send in a site survey. I mean, it's just a long process, and then the city takes anywhere between 10 to 16 business days to get you that permit.
Oh, wow.
And then we still have to coordinate with CenterPoint or Entergy, whoever your Entergy provider is. And we got to get them a one-line drawing and a load analysis, and they have to approve the transfer switch. But an air-cooled unit, you're looking at about a month to 6 weeks. A liquid-cooled unit, you're looking at about 10 to 12 weeks.
So what's the difference? You keep saying these two different units. What's the difference?
So an air-cooled unit is cooled by air. It's a lot louder. It's probably about 68 decibels. And a liquid-cooled unit has a car engine in it. So it's got Freon. It has a radiator. It's a lot quieter. It could be running, and we
More
can
expensive?
have way more expensive. They almost double in price, but I mean, we could sit here and carry on a conversation and not have to raise our voices at all with the liquid cooled unit.
Okay, so it's worth it for some people, but I
It
mean,
is. There's people who say, yeah, I want the liquid cooled unit, and then when you give them the price, they're like, hey, let's talk about that air cooled you were telling me
But I
about.
listen. I sleep with a sound machine every night, with white noise. So it would just be my white noise,
Yeah.
in my backyard. Why not? So I think that would be a good thing.
Yeah, some people tell me that too. They're like, I'm not worried about the noise because if I hear the generator running and I don't have lights, it's like a sweet sound for me. So.
What made you decide to be an electrician in the end? I know we kind of talked about that earlier, because it's something you could be all over the world. Do you love to travel? Is that kind of what you were thinking? Like,
I love to travel. I just didn't know where I was going to end up. I was young. I was fresh out of school. I was more scared about choosing a right career or choosing the right path. And I think it just kind of amazed me what electricity could do. And I get real bored real quick with things. And there was always something to learn with electricity. So I liked it.
what hours do y'all work?
So we work from 6 in the morning to sometimes 10 at night. We also do 24-hour service electrical work. So if you call me on Christmas Day, I'll probably be the one answering the phone, and we'll come out and figure out what's going on. Now, it's for an emergency. We're not going to come out if somebody's light's not turning on in their closet.
In their closet,
Yeah,
It's like if your whole house is off, maybe.
Yeah.
So you don't just provide generators, you provide
Electrical
general electrical services as
Yes,
well. I
we
know
do.
we focus so much on the generators because it's such a hot topic right now, but make sure
Yeah,
that
so we do, some of our high-end clients is City of Houston. We take care of Woodlands Resort, Howard Hughes, Harris County. We do a lot of the schools, police stations, libraries. We do all their preventative maintenance and upgrades for the schools and stuff. But we stay pretty busy.
So just like a realtor, you're kind of like on call 24/7 pretty much, but even worse because I can't go out and fix anyone's anything. But
Man, I don't know if you could put us on that high of a bar. Realtors got to do a lot.
Yeah, well, we just have to be on call at all times, and most of the time people want to, text us or call us late night. Luckily, I'm a night owl, so it works out for me that, that's usually when I'm not running around showing property or doing something anyway. It's time to answer the phone calls and kind of sort through everything. So,
Most definitely.
but with you, it's more like on call. You've got to get out the door and go do what you need to do. How many people do you have on your team or crew that work for you?
So we have about 10 crews. We have 9 salespeople, and then we have 4 people in the office. We've drastically grown from the beginning of this year till now, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
That's awesome. So you kind of have that now, that relationship with Generac directly to
Yes.
where you've become like kind of the preferred vendor for them here, or, you know, and so that's why you're able to get things to people quicker than maybe some of the other people.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, so we kind of forecasted out for the freeze, and we purchased a lot of generators before the freeze. So you have to order them in advance, you know, and they take time to get here. There's still people who ordered generators back in October who still don't have them now. But we placed a few $1 million in orders for generators, and we have them coming in weekly.
That's awesome. So you kind of prepared yourself. I mean, because I guess it was, I mean, beyond
a
the
gamble.
floods, and I mean, you didn't know that the freeze was going to happen,
No,
you know, but
no.
it was,
It was definitely a gamble that paid out for
Yeah.
sure.
and so you can pretty much, you know, offer that service to anyone at this time, you know, and they're available to get you generators. I mean, like I said, lead time is probably, I mean, half, if not a third of the time that I've heard from other people calling. I know even personally, my mother called and said, oh, one of my friends wants a generator. It was like going to be 3 months just to even get like an appointment, you know, it was like to get on their calendars. And I called you guys and said, hey, do you have time? And your mom called me back and literally in 10 minutes and said, yeah, I can come this afternoon. It's like, that's awesome. And then they're going to be 6 weeks. So before they even had an appointment to even get a consultation on it, these people already have the generator in their home. So that's pretty awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, so we a lot of our competitors won't buy generators up front. They want to get a deposit from the customer, and then they use that deposit money to go buy their generator. And we buy them up front. We take the risk of having them in stock and getting rid of them. And I think with big risk comes big rewards.
And I think it was really cool when you told me, like, you know, when I met you guys and like realized that like it's your mom works for you. I mean, it's like a family business, you know, and
Yeah, so my business partner, we actually met off the coast of Venezuela in a little country called Curacao. We both worked offshore, and we rode the rig back to Houma, Louisiana, and jumped off the chopper and rode back to Houston back in 2011. And we've been hanging out ever since. I mean, our kids hang out with each other's kids, and my wife's good with his wife, and we just kind of hit it off. And treat everybody like family, especially at our company. We love it.
And I think that's the basis of any business, right? You want not only I think people feel that when they do business with people that are happy with what they're doing and working with people that they enjoy working with. And that always makes a huge difference, you know, and making that connection. I think, and real estate in general, and every kind of thing that you offer, any kind of service that you offer, as long as I think the person on the other end can offer that same level of service, I think that's what makes all of us successful together, right? Is be able to kind of lean on each other, to know that when you give someone a lead or you give someone anything like that, that they're able to satisfy your customers in a way that makes them happy and feel like they were serviced in a positive way and quickly, you know? So it's like you want to give someone a phone number and you want to get it done quickly, you know, then definitely call Collaborative Services as far as electrician work, but especially generators. I think that's kind of more the bread and butter, and that's really what y'all have a stronger focus on at this point. And I think it's the more unique side of their business that allows them to be able to provide a service that a lot of other people aren't able to provide, because they do actually have those generators in stock and able, you know, it's interesting how many, you tell me that they have to get, because, you know, obviously we deal with new construction all the time, and, you know, we're always waiting on the city to put in the gas lines or to put in this or that, or meters and all that. I didn't even think that a generator would need to have to get permitted, you know, because if I put in new air conditioner, it doesn't need to be permitted, you know, but does it? No, I don't think so. But a generator, you do have to get it permitted.
Oh yeah, and like it's real bad. Like for Seabrook or Baytown, I mean, there's an extensive process you need to go to get permitting over there, and they just require some stuff sometimes that I think is unreal. But hey, we got to do what they want to do to
What
play
is
by
the
the rules.
reasoning of why they have to? Why does it need to get permitted? Because I guess it's taking.
Well, because it's going to
Energy.
be an attachment of a home. You have to tie into the electrical system. You have to tie into the gas system, natural gas or propane. So they want to make sure that people that are licensed are touching this equipment, because at the end of the day, somebody could get hurt, you know, if they do it wrong.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, you want your house to be, I mean, they're certified, so that makes it that extra level, because like I said before, you know, the people that I called before to ask about this service, you know, and to ask about getting generators for my clients, seemed like had no idea what they were talking about. I mean, just because they were like, oh, we have to come, we have to do this, we have to do that. I'm like, why can't you just give me a price, you know? How soon can I get on your books to come do this, you know? And it was, I guess, not amusing in the sense that I appreciated the fact that you were able to just give me those answers right away, provide the service, you know. People came out, you were I think when I called one time, y'all were at an expo or something, like, we can go after the expo. I'm like, that's okay, you can go tomorrow, you know? But if today works, it works. But I appreciate you coming on the show and offering, you know, everyone here services. If y'all need a generator, please call Collaborative Services. How can they get a hold of you?
They can call us at 936-228-2916 or go to collaborativeservicestx.com. You can also reach us on Facebook and make your own appointment. And you can call me if you can't get a hold of them via my cell, 281-386-2562.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you
We'll be
for having
right
me.
back in a few minutes.
Did you know that children and adults are spending 90% of their time indoors? Whether at home or at the office, structures are now built tighter and more energy efficient, creating toxic environments.
Indoor pollution is 2 to 5 times worse than outdoors. Childhood asthma has increased 600% in the last 30 years. According to the EPA, there are over 750,000 new asthma cases every year in the United States.
Poor air quality can cause headaches, snoring, fatigue, sneezing, coughing, severe allergies, and much more. Additionally, chemical pollution from cleaning products such as bleach or Lysol and also treated building materials can severely affect your health.
Tactico is an indoor air quality company that focuses on health and wellness by using revolutionary technology to clear the air of toxic indoor pollution.
Our cutting-edge, green-certified solutions remove all odors, allergens, viruses, mold, toxic chemicals, and insects to create healthy homes and workplaces. Within minutes, our military-grade products kill 99.9999% of all toxins. Our team is highly experienced and is comprised of military veterans whose mission is to provide excellent customer service to our clients. Because your safety and your health are important to us. Call Tactico today, 832-901-9979, and let us create a healthy environment so that you and your family can live pollution-free.
Buying, selling, or renting a property is an important step that will impact your life and the life of your loved ones. In fact, research shows that having an experienced realtor ensures a better pricing, selling, buying, or renting a property. Hi, my name is Dena Musfy with Greenwood King Properties. If you want to buy, sell, or rent a property, call me. I have the resources and strong know-how to navigate your transaction with ease. At the same time, when necessary, I can perform market evaluations and assessments, make recommendations for any staging or renovations needed to make your property shine, and anything else needed to list your property and sell it as fast as possible. Additionally, I'm a master certified negotiator and can provide several financing solutions. The goal is to sell your house fast and for the highest price possible, or find you your dream home and negotiate the best deal. Leave the selling, buying, or renting of your property to me. Take a strong step, reach out to me today so I can handle all your real estate needs.
Hi, I'm Karina Rodriguez, President of Exfinia Financial Services. Let me ask you a few questions. How prepared are you to reach your financial goals? To pay for your kids' education, to buy a house or start a business? Do you know how much money you will need for retirement? Do you have a plan that will allow you to live peacefully after retirement and later in life? Are you prepared to face unexpected situations, such as a chronic illness, an accident, or an untimely death? How will your family be protected? At Xfinia Financial Services, our mission is to help you answer these questions and to design a financial plan that covers all the areas that are relevant to your family or your business. Most importantly, a plan that gives you peace. Some of our services include a detailed assessment of your current financial situation, creating a plan for establishing an emergency fund and protection, debt management, tax optimization, as well as estate planning. Some of our financial strategies protect your capital against drops in the financial markets while benefiting when the market rises. We offer these services at no cost to you. Take control of your financial well-being. Contact us and we will be happy to assist you whether you live in the US or abroad, regardless of your migratory status. Let us be part of your financial success and stability.
What is so special about sleeping? It boosts your mental health. It's critical for your immune system, weight management, and fertility, amongst other important aspects of your health. Most people do not know the average person spends a third of their life on a mattress. A hard reality is some people spend roughly 7 years of their lives tossing and turning because their mattress needs replacing, or it's just a low quality mattress, which in turn leads to multiple spine issues and other health problems. Hi, I'm John McCarty with Mattress Firm. Having the exact mattress for you is critical for your overall well-being, and my goal is to help you find the exact mattress that'll increase your quality of life and your loved ones and have a restful night's sleep. Call me at 832-815-8482. I'd love to help.
Hi everyone, we're back and I'm here with Kevin Barden with Rivers Barden Architects. I was like, I don't know why it's a tongue twister for me, a little bit, but Rivers Barden Architects. And we're gonna talk about architecture. It's something that I think a lot of people don't know anything about. I mean, I think people think, okay, you put up buildings, you design them, blah, 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 but I think there's a lot more to it than that. So tell me a little bit about yourself personally, where you're from, all that stuff, and then kind of let's lead into what got you into architecture.
Yeah, well, I'm originally from Minnesota. Took the scenic route over to Houston. Most recently lived in San Francisco, Berkeley area, but I've been in Houston for about 6 years, and it's been awesome. Yeah.
I love San Francisco to go visit. I lived there briefly, and it was
pricey.
a little cold for my Texas blood too.
Yeah.
Prices were definitely, that's something you expect you're moving to San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
But we paid $350 for a parking spot. In our building that we lived in already, that we were paying $3,000 rent for 900 square feet. So be appreciative if you're in Houston listening to this or watching this of the prices we have here in Houston. But
exactly.
I think the structures and architecture in San Francisco is really cool. I know, the building we lived in was from the 1800s. It was crazy, it was really old.
Yeah, super beautiful buildings and beautiful landscape. But I think one of the differences between San Francisco area and the Houston area is San Francisco, you have to kind of call 300 neighbors, you got to put story poles up, it takes a year or 2 years to get through permitting and all these kind of things. And here in Houston, it's almost like, as long as you can comply with your HOA, you can kind of do what you want, and the timelines are a lot faster, and there's actually just kind of a lot more freedom to build what you want to build, which is a beautiful thing.
So what got you into architecture?
Yeah, architecture, I think it's been, I was super lucky and found a passion for designing and building at a very young age. And I think one of the things that helped me is I actually grew up in a geodesic dome in the woods, which is like a buckyball, almost like a soccer ball. So it's like open on the inside and lots of great natural daylight and views to the woods. And so I was just surrounded in this space of light. And
How cool is
yeah,
that?
it was awesome. Yeah, my parents still live there today, but it was just, became super interested in architecture at a very young age and have been very fortunate to find a path.
Are your parents involved in architecture and stuff? Like to live in a house like that, or is that just a normal type house in that area?
No,
or?
it is not a normal type house, and they are not architects. They met as musicians and just had a real passion for, doing something cool on their own. And
So they built that and designed that then?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, they had a builder on hand, and did, really the only stipulation was the kitchen was in the middle, because you can't put any cabinets on a kind of a dome that goes to the floor and that kind of thing. But it's very, very cool. Yeah, loved growing up there.
I can see that being eye-opening, just like what you can do. Like I live in this. I mean, you were probably the coolest house of all your friends.
Yeah,
probably
right.
always wanted to come over to your
Like,
house.
this is where you live.
I remember I had someone when I was in high school. He lived in kind of a tin house. Like it was
Wow.
made like out of metal basically, and it was a cool house. And then you had another one that like had the red door. It was like this big white house with just a red door. And it's like just something that stands out and makes something unique.
Yes.
It's kind of-
Identity is so important. Yeah, especially in house. Yeah, because it's where you live.
Yeah, definitely. So what are some of the projects and things that you're doing nowadays in Houston? And I mean, talking about permitting was really interesting because the gentleman that was on before you, generators, he's like saying how complicated it is to get some of these, permits and things. But I guess compared to like something like San Francisco or New York or something like that, it would be
Yeah,
a
it
little
is.
easier.
It's not as complicated as those areas, but there's still a lot of hoops to jump through with permitting. Even smaller renovations or additions can take a little bit of time, and certainly new builds take a bit of time too. And it's just kind of really having your ducks in a row and having a good team to work with from a homeowner's point of view, and the architect and builder and everybody being on the same page goes a long way to making it as smooth as possible.
Yeah, as smooth as possible is
Yeah,
key. 'Cause
I mean, there's always going to be hiccups, and it's like at the end of the day, you want people that you trust and people that you want to work with, and if there's a problem that you feel comfortable picking up the phone and calling and moving forward with the best solution.
What do you think, in your opinion, makes a good architect?
Good question. I think what makes a good architect and what makes a great architect is someone who really listens to the homeowner. I think there's a lot of times when someone's just kind of hearing you, but what are those particular things that make the biggest difference in your life and in terms of designing a home, or even in commercial properties as well, as like keying in on what's that most important thing or multiple things that need to find their way through the process of the whole project. So listening is a big thing in the practice, for sure.
What are some projects that people should call an architect for and shouldn't call an architect for?
Yeah, that's a great question too. I think probably anything from a residential side, anything that is requiring substantial renovation, anything that's kind of a new build. Those kind of projects you actually don't need an architect for, technically, to get something built. But really, an architect is going to bring the largest amount of value if there's something that's particularly custom, or something that you really want to see through to the end of the project. It's like oftentimes for our residential clients, building a house is the largest investment that they will make in their lives. And so if, as much as you can get it dialed in with someone who can really understands your vision, it becomes a really important thing.
What are the steps people, take in, like, once they contact you, like say,
Yeah.
okay, this is the project I want to do, what are kind of the steps people can expect?
Absolutely. So steps folks can expect are, an interview process. So we really want to get to know you, how you live, what's important, like I mentioned before. But we go through the design process. So one of the things that's particularly important is kind of going through an iterative process of design where, it's not just one design, here it is, we're going to build it and kind of move on, but like, hey, here are 2 to 4 different concepts of what you could, imagine for your life. And so much of it is like, you don't really know what you don't like until you see it. And you don't know what you really do like sometimes until you see it. And it takes a whole team to get through all those different iterations to be like, man, this is the perfect design for us moving forward. But yeah, so that's kind of the first half, and then we talk with all the engineers, and then we do construction documents and permitting, and then bring on the general contractor. Hopefully that's a little bit earlier in the process, so we can just have it as smooth as possible going into construction. But there's a lot of little steps along the way that really kind of bring it to reality.
So when you would call you, and then you would find the engineers, and you would help people through the whole process, or would they come with their own builder, or kind of how does that work? Because I know a lot of people don't. They're just like, okay, I want to buy a lot and I want to build a house, but they have nothing else beyond that. And I know that's where I can come in somewhat, because I have builders that I've worked with in the past. Kind of tell me your style, things like that. But where does that come into play? Like, let's say, I already have a custom builder, but they have, this design, but they want someone to come in and architect and partner with that builder and do something a little different from their book of business that they have in the past. How does that work?
Yeah. So I think maybe just starting with the consultants. We have a team of consultants that we can kind of pick up the phone and call, and depending on the project type or complexity or any kind of things like that, there's better fits for better projects. And then with the general contractor, oftentimes a client has their particular builder that they want to move forward with, but they want to compare it with 1 to 2 other contractors and make sure they're getting a good price. So we have our Rolodex of contractors that we work with as well, and that we vouch for, and really it's so once we start with the design, we have the relationships built up to make it as smooth as possible, to make the dream a reality.
I guess is that what the advantage of working with an architect is? Like, what would you say the benefits of working with an architect?
I would say kind of the larger vision, really of kind of getting down to the details of like, what are those initial conversations, that you have, and are those apparent? Do they make their way all the way to the end of the project? Also just the design, the quality of design. We go to school for years to just study and design. How you can be the most efficient. What's the best value? We talk a lot with our clients about energy savings. And so we use a program throughout the design process that actually tells us how much money you're saving just with your design if you do this and this and this. And it's like, hey, if you spend, $10 more, we'll save you $20 over the next 10 years.
Is that based on like a window, or based on what you're ordering to put in your house?
Exactly.
Like that's kind of that stuff?
Yeah,
okay.
So there's all these different variables of like, how good should my insulation be? What should my window package be? Do I have too many windows that face south or face directly west? What's the orientation of the living room? All those kind of variables go into how much energy your house is using, and at the end of the day, how much you're paying the energy company. And if we can tell you that, hey, you'll save $200 to $300 a month for the next 10 years, that's a good chunk of change. And just kind of getting back to the house that I grew up in with the geodesic dome, my parents specifically built that for energy savings, and they said, we're going to pay for the college education of our kids through the energy savings of this house. And it's like, if you can tell a homeowner who has a young family that college education is free if you do these things with your house, that's a huge win, and that means a lot to a homeowner, and that's where architects can really be of value to
Absolutely.
a family.
I don't think people even think about all those things, and I guarantee you some of the builders, look at the domes, they're showing the domes right now.
Yeah.
I think, I don't think that people even think about that, and I guarantee that some of these mass production builders don't think about that when they're building the house. It's just like, it's a lot, they're subdividing it, they're putting it here, it's how it's going to fit on the lot. It's not what area, it's what direction it's facing, what windows we're putting in, what any of that kind of stuff, you know?
Exactly. And so it's like, I think a lot of times an architect is really great for projects where you're going to be in a house for 10, 5, 7, 10 plus year forever house. That's where, our services really pay off.
Yeah, you're really kind of build your dream home, if you're
Yep.
building it from scratch and you really want to maximize your benefit, have the builder partner with an architect that you trust. So it's like
Exactly.
go out and meet the architect. Like you said, you kind of have an interview process. Make sure it's a fit for you and for them,
Big
I think it's on both sides. I think same thing
Absolutely.
as a realtor, right? When we meet, it's like maybe I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I hope I am, but maybe I'm not. So if I'm not, maybe I can guide you and with somebody else that would be a better fit for you, for what you're looking for, or that's not an area that our company, for example, I can refer people all over the country,
Yeah.
so it's not like, oh, I had a client recently, well, I wish you could help me here. It's like, oh, we can, we can refer you to someone else, and I guess with you, it's like specific projects might not be, I guess, not necessarily ideal, but they might not just be the fit for the vision of your business and how you run your firm.
And for the client, where it's like, hey, you'd be way better spending your time or resources, with somebody else that's not us. And it's all about having that referral network where you can, everybody, it's got to be a win-win, for everybody, and to just have that outlook and best interest for the clients and homeowners is very important.
What are the current trends you're seeing in the market with architecture and things that are happening?
Yeah, good question. I think, there's a lot of we're always thinking about different materials, technologies, working with audiovisual consultants. There's a whole lot of technology in there that's super cool, super awesome, that can be integrated into any design. But just, really kind of going, there's sometimes trends are kind of going back to the basics as well, where it's like, just love daylight. We love connecting with nature. We like energy savings. We want to, that's a pretty big trend in the market right now too.
Yeah, AAV stuff, you can go nuts. I know
Yeah,
there's
it's
expos
amazing.
and all kinds of stuff that happen that you can go and see things that aren't even out for people to use for 3 years or so. So if you connect yourself with someone that, is kind of innovative and things like that, to put all those innovations into the home that you're designing for somebody, it really kind of is a win-win. And
Exactly.
you're the best people to have those connections, right? Because the average person doesn't have, all those connections and stuff. So if you connect with an architect that can help you, designers and all kinds of stuff that help, because even interiors need to be, once you've designed that home and stuff, there's
Big
so many
time.
trends that are changing. And
Yeah, and that's, I think, the one thing with being an architect is, we are really good at knowing a lot of things about, or a little bit about a lot of things, but there's consultants, interior designers, landscape architects, landscape designers, audiovisual consultants that know a lot more, builders, how to build things. We love talking with them early on in the construction process, because they're the ones who are actually building it, and it's like, really relying on experts and expertise to make the best product possible.
so you kind of come with a team approach, like, hey, we have all these people that can offer that. And I think that's in any industry. It's like, I'm a real estate agent. I know a little bit about everything, but I'm not a lender. I'm not a title company. So specific questions I have to kind of direct to those people that are the experts in that field. So I think that's really important, to have a good network of people working with you at all times.
So true. So true.
Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Absolutely,
But tell
thank
people how
you.
they can get a hold of you.
Yeah, you can get a hold of me. Our website is riversbarden.com, and my phone number is 281-742-0256. Check us out, give a call, and happy to help.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for coming on the show. We appreciate it, and we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Having a spotless house is critical for your quality of living. Hi, this is Kevin Thury with washpros.us. At Wash Pros, we are locally owned and operated, servicing Central Houston, Austin, and Dallas. We are fully insured. We offer annual, semi-annual, and quarterly cleanings. We recognize that needs change and Mother Nature keeps us on our toes. Just know we are happy to help. We use eco-friendly products and a purified water cleaning system for a spotless shine. We service HOAs, the property managers, investment firms, and you, the homeowner. If you're putting your house on the market or have an annual maintenance cleaning schedule, or you're interested in holiday lighting, we are your one-stop shop for all of your exterior cleaning and holiday lighting needs. Call me today for your free on-site quote and let washpros.us be your clean escape.
My name is Barbara, and I'm the owner of Blades Appraisals and Art Resources. I appraise fine art, antiques, collectibles, and residential contents. My projects have ranged from an autographed Hall of Fame baseball bat to an entire museum's art collection. Here's when you should call me. The top 4 reasons. Number 1, advance estate planning to minimize your family's tax bite, as well as ensure an equitable settlement between parties after death. 2, I understand the IRS guidelines for donations. I can make sure you get the maximum value for your donation. 3, making sure you have adequate and appropriate insurance coverage. And 4, when you decide to downsize and you want to sell part of your collection, I will help you maximize the value by recommending the appropriate method of sale. Feel free to reach out for a complimentary project estimate. If I can't help you, I will make a recommendation. I truly enjoy my work, and I'd love to hear from you.
Are you a business owner feeling overwhelmed or burnt out with no energy left for what's most important to you? In order to effectively run your business and maximize your profits, you have got to be the best possible you that you can be. Now is the time to reclaim your energy, master your schedule, and maximize your profits so you can effectively run your business rather than it running you. It's time to become the CEO of your business and life. I'm Jen Godet, a business strategist and life coach. I work with overwhelmed business owners who feel stuck in a rut and depleted. I teach you how to stop doing the things that aren't making you money and start prioritizing the things that bring you energy, joy, and lasting impact. I'm a human performance specialist and an international best-selling author. I've helped countless people all over the world to learn the art of saying no, overcome their fear, and maximize their performance. Let's get you to live your best possible reality. Start today and become the CEO of your business and your life.
Now, more than ever, having accurate and up-to-date bookkeeping is crucial for tax and operating cost optimization. Additionally, having a reliable outside bookkeeping company ensures your books are done correctly, and there is no need for the cost of a full-time accountant. RSM Bookkeeping and Tax Services, founded by veteran Ron Maldonado, can provide different bookkeeping packages to fit your company's needs. Assist with the installation of onboarding of QuickBooks, review your books for tax preparation, assist with the creation and registration of your company and obtaining your company's EIN number with the IRS. Tax services for individuals and businesses, for sales and use tax certificates, filing franchise and sales tax reports. Take a decisive step. Call Ron Maldonado at 281-610-7039 and let RSM Bookkeeping and Tax Services be a part of your success.
Comprar, vender o alquilar una propiedad es un paso importante que impactará tu vida y la de tus seres queridos. Está comprobado que tener un agente de bienes raíces con experiencia garantiza un mejor precio al vender, comprar o alquilar una propiedad. Hola, mi nombre es Odilia Conflenti y trabajo con la agente Dena Musfy con Greenwood King Properties. Si quieres comprar, vender o alquilar una propiedad, llámanos. Dena tiene los recursos y la experiencia para navegar tu transacción con facilidad. Al mismo tiempo y cuando sea necesario, Dena puede realizar las evaluaciones del mercado, hacer recomendaciones para renovaciones necesarias para que tu propiedad brille y cualquier otra cosa necesaria para vender tu propiedad lo antes posible. Además, Dena está certificada como Master Negociadora y puede sugerir varias soluciones de financiamiento. El objetivo es vender tu casa rápidamente o encontrarte la casa de tus sueños al mejor precio posible. Déjanos la venta, compra o alquiler de tu propiedad. Da un paso fuerte y déjanos hacer el trabajo para ti.
Hi everyone, I'm back here with Ehab Shukri with Rehab with Ehab. Hi, thanks for coming.
Hi, thank you for inviting me.
It's good to see you. It's been a long time.
I
We've
know.
known each other for a long time, and it's nice to have people, but I think we reconnected in the real estate world, and kind of I remember seeing videos and stuff on Instagram. And I was like, hey, we should connect and learn more about what each other do in the business. So.
Yeah.
Kind of tell me a little bit about yourself personally, what you got going on, and then kind of what got you into real estate investments.
Yeah, thanks, Dena. So yeah, I'm Ehab Shukri. I'm a full-time real estate investor. I've always had a passion about investing in real estate, mainly because I wanted to, be financially free, and a lot of the exciting things that people think about when they're thinking about investing in real estate. And so got started in my late 20s, and then really followed through with it as a passion, and now I'm doing it full time.
Next, I know you had a full-time normal job,
Yeah.
the 9-to-5 type job, and you were doing it kind of on the side. Is that when you started?
Yeah, I had a full-time job, caught up in the rat race, and just wanted to be able to get out and live life on my terms and do the things that I wanted to do. And so I invested in real estate, bought some properties, and did that on the side with my job.
Okay. Describe kind of what's your approach in investing? Like how do you pick the properties? What do you do with them? Kind of what's your approach?
Yeah. So I'm really big into buy and hold investing, because I think that's really the key to building wealth, is owning property and creating that passive income. So everything I buy, I really like to keep. And I do something what's called the BRRRR strategy, which is BRRRRR. So it stands for buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat. And so really what that lets me do is buy properties that are in disrepair, that are distressed, fix them up, create the value, rent them out, usually as a short-term rental, which is what I really like to do, and then refinance them to get my cash back. And by doing it that way, I'm able to cash out every time so that I have my money so I can go buy more properties.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's exciting. That's a way to do things. You've created obviously you have numerous properties. How many properties do you got going right now?
I'm up to 40 rental units now.
Wow,
Yeah, including a
that's
16-unit
incredible.
apartment that I'm remodeling right now too.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Is that your first apartment, or do you have several apartments going?
I've had a few small multifamily properties. I had a 6-plex, a 4-plex, but this 16-plex is definitely my biggest.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So kind of what do you just do it on your own? Do you have a team? Do you work with a bunch of people? Kind of.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Yeah, I've had to really build a good team around me. So I have great contractors, great title companies, inspectors, all of those people that you need to really have a successful real estate investment business. And I actually have started to create a mentorship program to teach people to do the same thing too. So all of those great resources that I have, I share with my students, and they're able to use them and leverage from all of my experience as well.
All right, so mentor program.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about this mentor program and kind of what it entails. How do you take on people to be in? How do they sign up for it? What is it exactly?
Yeah, so I just found that a lot of people have been in my same shoes. They want to be financially free. They don't want to have to work if they don't want to, and so. A lot of people came to me for advice and would ask about how I'm investing in real estate or just tips and tricks on certain things. And so I finally decided that last year I was going to actually put together a formal mentorship program to teach people how to do the strategy that I do and to give them all the resources and tools that they need to really be able to build their own business and become financially free. So that's really what I put together late last year. It's a program that really anybody can sign up for. It's a lifetime membership, so once you're in, and it's a combination of online training videos, a community that I've created, and weekly group coaching calls that I have. If people are interested in it, I have a website called rehabwithehab.com. Also, my Instagram is rehabwithehab. So you can go to any of those places and find out more about the program. And really, I love to sit down and talk to people first before they join the program. I want to understand what their goals are and make sure that my program is going to be a good fit for them. So if you're interested, set up a call with me. You can go to any of those websites to get that information and set up that call and let's chat.
So there's a cost involved, of course.
Yeah.
Right? So what's the cost involved? Because you said basically once they become a member, it's a lifetime membership. Is that a repeat cost, or is it just a one-time cost to join your program? Or
yeah, I mean, there's a one-time investment into the program. I'm willing to be flexible with people as terms of breaking up payments or things like that. But yeah, certainly I want to make sure I'm delivering value to folks. So I've created this program so that it does that, and I really want to make sure that I have a great program in place for them.
Do you really handhold through the whole process? Let's say that first one that someone's really nervous about, and they want to really be handheld. I mean, is it to that extent that you can really handhold through that first, purchase and kind of give advice and mentor through that program, through the process?
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people, not only, even if they've bought houses in the past, I feel like a lot of people don't, understand the process really deeply. And I know as an agent myself, I really value the knowledge, to give people the knowledge when they're buying a house and make them understand the whole process, not just, hey, you're going to the title company, close, this is your lender, they're approving. Understand it. Look at the paperwork, read the stuff, understand it. So I can imagine someone with their first investment, it would be very nerve-wracking. So kind of how does that work with you in your mentorship program?
Yeah, definitely there's some hand-holding that takes place. I really try to teach people through the training how to do things the right way, so I don't have to do as much hand-holding. But certainly there's going to be those one-off cases where you have a question and you just want to give me a call, or you want me to come look at your property to help you do the walkthrough or figure out what's the best approach for remodeling the property. So I've done that. I've done that with several of my students, and I want to make sure that they're successful. So whatever it takes to help them really get there, I'm willing to do.
Okay, it is a crazy market out there right now.
Yeah.
So I know I work with some people that do investment property and things like that, but it's hard to find those homes. It's hard to find the homes that are good value, that aren't getting 30 offers on them at this point. How are you working that now with it being so busy, and what's your strategy on multiple offers and situations like that? Because I'm positive that what you're buying is a multiple offer situation.
Yeah, well, I'm having to get creative like everybody else. So first and foremost, I go after properties that are in really bad shape. So that kind of narrows the pool down from just your regular home buyer to only competing with other investors. But then after that, I really look at ways I can get creative with the deal. Actually, just recently, I got a contract on a mechanic shop that I'm looking to turn into a short-term rental spot. So a lot of people have looked at it and said, this probably isn't going to be a good deal as a mechanic shop. They're asking too much. But me, when I looked at it, I saw that I could turn this into 4 really cool short-term rentals or Airbnbs. And so that's going to be my plan to turn this into something that's going to really cash flow and create a lot of money. So I'm getting creative, and that's something that I think a lot of people can do to try to turn things into good deals.
Yeah, you kind of have to start thinking outside the box.
Yeah,
turning a mechanic shop into an Airbnb, that's pretty creative.
Yeah.
That's really neat. I want to see that when you get it done. Maybe we'll have to come back on the show and have to show everybody that, because I think that would be pretty cool for anyone to see.
Yeah.
I guess, how do you even come up with those type of ideas? What do you, are you researching? That's something that's really outside the box. How did you come up with ideas like that?
Well, now that I'm full